Hey there and welcome back, my friend. We're almost there. Like after this one, there's one more of these lessons to understand the entire fretboard and going all the way from like down here all the way to up here in the same scale and knowing where the heck all the right notes are. And again, this is literally every position of the G major scale, which all these positions are movable, so technically you know every single major scale. Remember, a major scale, same 7 notes, but we kind of have more than 7 combinations of frets and strings, so those notes appear all over the place in different octaves or the same octaves. But we need visuals and we need to understand where they are so that we're not just stuck here or stuck there playing them time and time again. And so far we've gone from everything from position 1 all the way into position 5. Today we go from position 5 into position 6 of the major scale. So let's do just that. Let's do that. Hey, my friend, as always, first of all, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you sitting down and watching me here in this screen thing. And if you want to continue watching that and supporting me, make sure that you like, subscribe, and click the alerts so that you see every single video that I do far too much with my life, including the final one of these videos that comes out next. So far, what have we learned? Which, by the way, if you haven't seen any of the other videos, they're all linked in the description below for you to dive in. But what have we learned so far? Well, we've learned position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of a G major scale. And I keep saying G major scale because obviously we're starting on the 3rd fret of our low E with position 1 and moving from there, so everything is in G major, but you need to start remembering that these patterns, these shapes, and the positions are all movable anywhere, and with that, you can play any major scale. Start them on the 5th fret instead, and you've got A major. Start them on the 7th fret instead, and you've got B major, and so on. But remember, the reason we really want to know these and really memorize this isn't just so that we could see every note on the entire fretboard that makes sense to play, but it's because every other scale that you'll learn in your life as a guitarist is based on the major scale. So by learning that foundation, it's a heck of a lot easier to learn new stuff. So where the heck did we leave off? Well, we left off on position 5 of the G major scale, but how did we get there? Remember, position 1 was on the 3rd fret of our low E, position 2 was on the 5th fret, position 3 was on the 7th, position 4 was on the 8th, and we did position 5 in the last video starting on our 10th fret of our low E. And for those of you who are really visual, I'll make sure to put a visual representation of this pattern up right now so that you can take a look, pause, screenshot, play through, whatever you wish. On our low E string, it's 10, 12, 14. Same darn thing on the A string. 10, 12, 14. Same darn thing on the D. 10, 12, 14. On the G, we go 11, 12, 14. On the B, we go 12, 13, 15. And then on our high E, we end with 12, 14, 15. So now it's time to learn position 6. Now remember, how do we know where to find the next position? Where is the starting point for our next pattern that we're learning? Very easy. If we think about our last one that we just played through, the 5th position, where we went 10, 12, 14, the second note of that 12th fret, is where we'll start our 6th position and our pattern. On the low E, it is 12, 14, 15. It's the same thing on your A string, 12, 14, 15. On the D, it is 12, 14, 16. Same thing on the G, 12, 14, 16. On the B, it's 13, 15, 17. And on our high E, it's 14, 15, 17. And as you've probably caught on by now, I'll put the image up right now of that position 6 of your G major scale so that you can screenshot it, stop, play through it if you wish, and just take a second to really soak it in. And look at you already. What do you know? You're going all the way from this low 3rd fret on your low E, and you're ending up all the way on the 17th fret of the high E. You have traversed many roads, mountains. You've gone really far. But obviously that's simple in theory. So how do we cook it in? How do we remember this moving forward in our lives? The same way we've been doing it the whole time. First exercise I'm going to give you is combining position 5 and 6. So what I want you to do is start all the way down at that 10th fret on your low E, play all the way through your position 5. Remember, it's just 10, 12, 14, 10, 12, 14, 10, 12, 14, 11, 12, 14, 12, 13, 15, 12, 14, 15. I have no breath. And then we're just going to slide that pinky up to the 17th fret on the high E, and that is officially our last note of our new position, position 6. So from there, we work our way backwards down position 6. But of course, we don't stop there. No. Every week is literally about us learning all of the positions and really cooking them into our brain a bit. So I want you to take this concept that we've been doing and add all of the positions together. In other words, I want you to start on your 3rd fret of your low E, playing through position 1. When you get to that last note of your first position, slide up to the last note of the second position, come back. When you get to that beginning note of the second position, scoot your index finger up to the starting point of the 3rd position and repeat with all of the positions. And there you have it. Well done, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you click the alert so that you see the final video in the series as it comes out. Because while you're doing great right now, you're so close. You're so close to finishing this whole thing. And I'd hate for you to not finish it and miss it. So this week, make sure you practice all of this stuff. All the other videos are in the description if you need them. And I will see you next time.